Bro, life is literally never gonna get easier. Today I woke up and I've never been so mentally and physically exhausted in my life. And I don't understand. I don't get it. Because I do all the right things. I eat super clean. I'm not even eating sugar for God's sake. I'm hitting the gym 5 days a week. I'm exercising 7 days a week. I'm doing cardio. I'm just doing the right shit. I'm dopamine detoxing. I'm not even playing video games. I'm not doing any drugs. I'm sober, 100% sober. But I still feel shitty. I still feel like absolute shit sometimes. And especially on a day like today when I wake up and I ask myself, how am I going to get through this week? How am I going to get another video out for my new audience? I just reached over 500 subscribers. I got like 55 subscribers from my last video. And that's the most I've ever got in my life from a video. And I can't help but feel grateful for that. But at the same time, I'm like, shit. Look how many people are depending on me now. Look how many people and young men are depending on me to give my very best every single goddamn week. Guys, it never gets easier. When you see these successful YouTubers or these famous people or people with money, they feel empty inside. I'm telling you right now, they feel empty inside. David Goggins, I don't know if you guys know him, he said the most successful people even feel empty inside. So this just tells me that life will always be hard. It'll always get more hard and more difficult, no matter what. So it's not about the money or getting the attention or the clout or whatever BS you're selling yourself on. It's just being able to go through this journey, being strong to adhere all these hardships. That's all it is. And today I read a story in Ryan Holiday's new book, Discipline is Destiny. I forgot the girl's name, but her last name was O'Connor. I know there's like a million O'Connors in the world. But she married her husband in 1952. Okay? 38 years later, so 1990, he got Alzheimer's. She was forced to take care of her husband. She even brought her husband to work with her. And eventually she had to give up her dream job just to take care of him. In 2007, her husband basically falls in love with another Alzheimer's patient, and it's not his fault. Apparently that's very common in that world. I didn't know that. And when the news reporter found that out and tried to expose that to the media, she came out and said, I'm happy that he's happy. Even though she was utterly broken inside. So why am I sharing this sad story with all of you? It's because life is never going to get easier. This story is just one out of thousands and thousands of stories of just the amount of suffering and difficulty that is ahead of us. I'm not trying to be pessimistic at all, by the way. I'm just trying to remind all of you that life is not sunshines and rainbows every day. It's going to be tough. And it's going to get tougher the more you're able to do it. And what I realize is if you're religious or spiritual or whatever it is, God or the universe, it gives you hard things to do. And once you're able to do those hardships, it just gives you harder things. It just gives you more difficult things to handle. So even though your life is shitty right now, or it might be shitty whatever next week or whenever it is, that feeling will always be there for the rest of your life. For the rest of your life. So what's the point of going through all this? Why am I saying this? Because if I'm able to help you guys alleviate your suffering, that gives me more purpose to go through mine. Or if I'm able to go through mine, that gives you guys more meaning to go through yours. Because life is just suffering. I'm not trying to be pessimistic again, but life is just suffering. And if you see these successful people like Goggins and all these other entrepreneurs say the same thing, and they're going through the same shit, you know it's always going to be difficult. It's crazy. I thought looking at all these successful YouTubers, this is what I always wanted. I thought the grass was always greener on the other side, but that's not the case. That's not the case at all. Because everyone will have, if you are a human being, you will go through life suffering. It's period, point blank. That's it. So why am I making this video again? That's a good question. I'm just trying to show you guys how it is, how the creator's process is. I am starting to feel burnt out right now. I'm sick for the third time in 3 months, which makes absolutely zero sense. It makes you really question what you're doing. It makes you really doubt yourself. It makes you really have fear of failing. But you know what? It's better to fail than to have the fear of failing. Because at least with me failing, I'm learning every single step of the way. But if I never tried in the first place, that is far worse. Because if I were to go back to like how I used to be, like me just indulging ignorantly in pleasure and just playing it the safe way at my office desk, working from home, there's nothing wrong with that. But it's just not for me. And I know if I were to go back to that, I would be letting myself, my internal self, down so badly. So badly. So I'd rather go through this difficulty because this is what I wanted. This is the path. This is what we wanted. This is the consequences. I can't even comprehend the amount of difficulty that I will have to face in the future, the more successful I'll get. More money, more problems. That's the most factual statement I've ever heard in my life. Because with more money, with more success, there's more responsibilities. And honestly, I actually don't give an F about money. I swear to God, I might give a fuck about money. The only reason I'm doing this is to help change the lives around me, and it's for me not to live a fraudulent lifestyle. I don't want to be a fraud anymore. I don't want to be like how I was in high school anymore. I want to grow out of that. I want to move on from that. So I hope you guys watching this video right now are reminded that life will never get easier. It's always going to get harder. There's always going to be more problems. There's always going to be more responsibilities. There's always going to be people that are leaning on you for support, especially if you're a man, because as a man, you're in a position of leadership. If you're the head of the family, your mom relies on you, your sisters rely on you, your wife relies on you, your daughters will rely on you. So it is what it is. It's tough. This is just a part of life. We all have to go through it together. So I hope this message kind of gives you guys some peace, ironically, to just keep going. Just keep going. That's all I have to say. Just keep going, guys. Just keep going.